So greetings to you. Greetings. I almost forgot my mic. Yeah. Greetings to you. Well, today is the Chinese New Year. Today is the Chinese New Year. And what is it today? What is it? Let me see. The Chinese New Year, is it the year of what? Yes, today it will be the year of all right, I'm the year of the fire hearse. It is the Chinese New Year's today. I can't say if it's global, but I see from the BBC it is indeed today. But of course, it is the year of the fire hearse. I guess the hearse that breathes fire. I don't know what the significance is, but maybe I'll just research it later. But for now, Happy New Year to the Chinese and all the Chinese viewers that I have. There is a particular Chinese man that sends monthly. He faithfully sends monthly subscription donations to me for the past, what, 7-8 months. I get a text and he says, "Hi Doc, can you go and this is the receipt." Yeah, he has a wonderful name, but you know, a lot of people just like him, a lot of people want to remain in the background. And he's not a racist because he supports me. He's not a racist. Okay? The man says, "You know, Doc, I see myself in you." He says, "I see myself in you. Your boldness, straightforwardness, to the point." He says, "I would love to be doing what you're doing, but I don't have that personality." I want to add to this also that I met a bank manager a few days ago. One of the local banks. He's a manager for one of the local banks. And he's Afro. He's Afro Surinamese. In other words, he's a black man. And he said to me, he says, "You know, I'm a fan. I watch you. And I want you to understand this." He says, "I'm not offended by the things you say." He said, "I'm not offended. As a matter of fact, it's people like you that is responsible." He says it's people like you that is responsible for me, that's him, being a bank manager. He says, "Yes." He says, "And what I mean by that is that your directness, the fact that you don't mix matters, you say it like it is, and you cuss out the black people for their action." He says, "Yeah, people like you kept me on path," because he says if it was not for the way you talk to black people, he says he would not have been a bank manager. He would not have continued his schooling. He would not have pursued his education. He showed me a handful of tattoos. He said, look, he was going down the wrong path. But after he felt embarrassed by being associated with the stigma of being a low life and lazy, and he says, no, he said, no. He wanted to prove to people. He wanted to prove to the critics that he is different. And he took advantage of it. He took advantage of the anger that he felt by the criticisms over the things black people did, and it pushed him to study, pushed him to get his masters, pushed him to go higher, pushed him to be disciplined. Now he's a bank manager, thanks to people like me. I felt encouraged because I understood what he's talking about. So all the people who are taking offense with the statements I make over the typical average black man, I understand that's the level of your emotions. You can't take those statements and that energy and channel it into something positive for your life. You're going to sit around and plot and do your obia and pray and conspire for something bad to happen to me just because you're pissed with the fact that I'm condemning the actions of black people. Oh, you think that you're above that? Then prove it. Be like the bank manager. Prove it. Be better. Go higher. Stay out of trouble. Have a clean record. Don't fight. Don't curse. Don't party. Don't go to these shows. Don't spend your money. Don't smoke. Don't do drugs. Do that. And prove to me and society that you are a different black man. But if you're going to embrace the criticism and you're hanging out after hours every night, you are joining gangs, you are liming and spying on people's daughters and their wives and plotting to rob and to steal and to kill, then you are exactly the kind of people I am talking to. Good for nothing. Be the opposite. So congratulations to that Afro-Sudanama that is a bank manager. It's a good example. I hope the others are stimulated and inspired by that. Now, this is Uncensored Guyana. I'm Dr. Prasad. You see, I wanted to understand this whole thing with the Mohammeds. I want to understand, is this on purpose with the magistrate? Is there a conspiracy? Is he really that invincible that the laws of Guyana is beneath him? He just have to go through a process so not as to raise any suspicions that he's being helped, hence all the theatrics. I wanted to find out what's really going on. There are a lot of sources that has sent information my way, but they don't want to be quoted. So I'm not going to refer to those information. Because if I'm going to deal with an issue and I'm going to bring it on my platform and take responsibility for it, if shit hits the fence, I need to be able to rely on the sources. And they need to be able to back up what they're saying. So I thought, I'm going to push the conspiracy. Let me do my own deep dive, call around and see where I get the information from, vet it for myself, and put it in my own little perspective and present that. Because this is not America. This is Guyana. And Guyana is not that experienced in dealing with extradition, because we have had largely good citizens. Largely. Most of the bad citizens that Guyana has experienced, they commit crime in other countries, and they were imprisoned in those countries. They didn't have a chance to leave the countries and go to Guyana, hence request for extradition. They face their crimes in those countries. A lot of them commit crimes in Suriname, Trinidad, and a lot in America, including the whole lot of them that are receiving funds from the Mohammeds. Yeah. Criminals. Anyway, it may surprise you about the distraction game that is being played. It's all a distraction game. It may surprise you. It didn't really surprise me, I just have to question it a bit more because too fishy. I'm looking at the case. The man allegedly has a history of showing up late. He is a professional liar. Azrin Mohammed, a professional liar. This ain't no child practicing lies to see where it gets him. This is somebody who has lived a life of lies. He's not even convinced that the person he sees in his mirror is actually Azrin Mohammed. So he has to lie to himself that he is who he thinks he is. That's another level of lying. So he's an expert in lying. You can't become a billionaire via those corrupt practices and not be a genius liar. No, you got to lie in every respect. Every approach to business, you have to lie, trick, distraction, false flag. You got to do all of that to achieve your objective if you're not following the right procedures. So let's not take his word for it. Azrin Mohammed. No. Something is bigger at play here, even bigger than the magistrate herself. I am now beginning to feel some amount of sympathy for the magistrate, because at the end of the day, it really seems as if something is pulling her strings, and it ain't money. I don't think it's money. Because you see, from my background search into the magistrate, I wanted to find out more. Because I've said before that, let's see, while she was in private practice, but apparently she was never in private practice. She never practiced as a lawyer. Then come over to that. No, she came from the law school in Trinidad. And upon that, I think it's around 2004, 2005, she joined the DPP as a prosecutor. I mean, apprentice, but the point is, she started from law school as a prosecutor for the state, for the government. The woman has never been in private practice. She has been a public servant from law school. Was that the arrangement? No, these are my thoughts. Did I take you, send you to law school, sponsor you at law school, brought you back, put you directly as a prosecutor, then make you a junior magistrate, then a principal magistrate in the Georgetown district, as though she was selected from day one to serve in this capacity. She has done nothing else. High school, college, law school, government. That's it. Absolutely nothing else. She apparently has no connections. She's apparently not a part of any social society. This is as though Magistrate Latchman is a tool that was molded for a purpose. And she works with directives. Because she served 4 years, just 4 years, as a prosecutor. From law school, she started with the DPP, Director of Public Prosecutions, at 2009. 2009. Law school around 2004, 2009 with the DPP. 4 years. Then after that, she was appointed magistrate. Then after that, principal magistrate in 2020. And also, Magistrate Latchman, because I wanted to find out if there's any connection with her and the Mohammeds, if she has, even as a prosecutor, if she had dealt with any case involving anything with the Mohammeds, if she prosecuted for the government, anything. She has limited experience, even as a prosecutor. And she has never presided, not as a prosecutor, not as a magistrate, over any extradition case. Zero experience. They had a few extradition cases in Guyana. Just happened that Magistrate Latchman never, she has no experience when it comes to dealing with those kinds of cases. So she was green, totally green. There would have been other magistrates in the district that dealt with extradition. But Judy Latchman, never, not as a prosecutor, not as a magistrate. But then she was given this high profile, the biggest extradition case in Guyana, went to an amateur magistrate with zero experience, not even the chief magistrate, not even a judge, a magistrate in a lower court. I mean, an extradition is not a trial. Her job was a magistrate's job is to determine if the application for extradition is within the law, if there is a dual process, a duality of crime committed, if it reached the merit, then that's it. Her job as a magistrate or any magistrates over an extradition request is to see if there's any validity to that. If it's constitutionally okay, if it's within the laws of the country, that's it. It's not to decide if the person is guilty or innocent. That's not for the magistrate to decide. In other words, it's not magistrate's Judy's job to determine innocence or guilt with the Mohammeds. Her job is simply, does it meet the standard for him to be extradited? That's it. And she's not there to decide on behalf of the judge. She's there to decide on behalf of the court, the laws of Guyana. After when she decided that, yes, the evidence, everything was done properly, and she signed off on that, then the government takes over. Then the government can either block the extradition or agree to it. But right now, it's the magistrate. I want to keep emphasizing here, her job is not to determine innocence or guilt. Her job is to determine if it's worth the court's time to look at the case on the extradition request. That's it. Not to examine the evidences that the Americans have about the crimes committed. If it meets the standards that yes, this person has to go. Mind you, if the court or the magistrate has no experience in dealing with cases like this, she can always refer to other countries and how they dealt with extradition. Standard procedure. This is not a guesswork here. She has to make comparisons. You're part of a commonwealth, you're part of a global system, okay. How does these other judicial system handle the cases like this, since she has no experience? To determine how these things are interpreted. The bottom line here is, out of law school, no private practice, into the office of the DPP, The DPP works with the government, right? It's a government agency, which is under the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Oversight, who? Minister of Legal Affairs, Attorney General. From being a prosecutor for 4 years, magistrate. Now she's a principal magistrate. And she was also nominated for chief magistrate. But for some reason, that didn't materialize. I guess the opposition leader wasn't too keen on making the magistrate chief magistrate. And these appointments are determined by the Judicial Service Commission. They're the ones who determine who goes where and who fills certain appointments. So she did not succeed in being chief magistrate. But principal is, you know, still got some powers there. The sole authority when it comes to legal matters, especially in extradition cases regarding who gets what, where the case goes, rests only with the Attorney General, the Minister of Legal Affairs. He decides that. Attorney General Nandalal was Attorney General 2012 or 2010 to 2015. Correct me if I'm wrong here. And 2020 to now. This is his third position as Attorney General. 3 times that he looked over the judicial system. The magistrate would have been in the system under the PPP, not the PNC. Because 2005, who was the president? Bar Jagdeo. Until 2010. Then again, then Ramatar got it from 2015. No. 2010. So Magistrate Judy Latchman, her career was molded by the People's Progressive Party's regime. The PPP was in charge when Magistrate Judy got into law, became a prosecutor, then became a magistrate. It was the People's Progressive Party who made it possible. She was working for the PPP government. And still is. She became a magistrate under the PPP government. You see where I'm going with this? And every time it seemed like Anand Nandalal is her boss. So what's going on here, Mr. Nandalal? First of all, the case went to a magistrate that allegedly you were responsible for making a magistrate. Then secondly, they got bail for that ridiculous sum. And all the favors that was extended to the Mohammeds from day one happened under a PPP magistrate. The woman doesn't work for the PNC. She became magistrate under the PPP. So who's pulling the strings here? Who is pulling the strings? Anil, is it you? Is it you, Mr. Nandalal, that's pulling the strings here? Is this why we have this sham Azraddin pretending to be attacking you? To distract us from the fact that you might very well be helping him? All this charade, all this sham. I mean, his hands is in hot water. That's Azraddin Mohammed. His ass is on fire. And the people who have the power to decide his fate are the ones he's attacking, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing about his case spells political persecution. A matter of fact, it spells political favor. Favor. From day one, he's been receiving favor. From day one. From the judicial system. And all the things that Anand Nandalal keeps coming out and talking, it makes no sense whatsoever. No sense. So when I look into the situation, I realize that the man who has the power is Anand Nandalal. He controls everything. He also would have direct influence in the Judicial Service Commission. He can discipline the magistrate if he wish. They can create reasons. Come on, this is politics. If you want to deal, if you suspect the magistrate is helping a client, you are the government. You can find reasons to investigate the magistrate, bring her before the Service Commission. You can, I mean, you did it before. Governments do it all the time. Look at what the PNC did. So this is no thing that, oh, we got to interfere. Fuck it. Governments interfere all the time. Ain't no thing that you can't interfere. So I'm realizing that this is not the magistrate. She might be very well following orders. Because how is it that this man insulted the court with his body language? She sent a warrant to get him, got him, locked him up, then just like that, justice with mercy, and revoked the warrant, canceled it, expunged it. That don't happen in normal societies. That don't happen unless there is higher power that is interfering with this process. Higher power. And I don't think the president has anything to do with that. Because something that I understand is that President Irfan Ali might be the president of Guyana, but he has no influence over some of the ministers, especially not Anand Nandalal. My gut feeling is telling me that President Irfan Ali can't order Mr. Nandalal. Hell no. President or not, he doesn't have that authority to order Nandalal. Matter of fact, Nandalal does what Nandalal wants to do. And nobody, not Jaglio, not Ali, can tell him shit. That's how indispensable the man is. That's how powerful the man is. I think Anand Nandalal is the one who decided that he wants to be Attorney General. He wasn't selected to be. He said, hey, make me that. Because when it comes to the People's Progressive Party, I think Anand Nandalal is bigger than President Ali in terms of influence in the party. I think he's bigger. I think he's larger. The difference is Guyanese love Ali. So they had to get a person that the people wanted to be the president. Maybe if Anand Nandalal was the presidential candidate, maybe the PPP would have lost. So they had to get a candidate that everybody loves. And that's where President Ali came in, because everybody loves him. But as it results, as it relates to influence in the party, as to who has more hold over what, President Ali has no control over the Attorney General. None whatsoever. So if the Attorney General doesn't want Mohammed to be extradited, Mohammed will not be extradited. this whole thing would play out, and the person who will be controlling the results and how things go is the Attorney General, while at the same time bringing a bunch of bullshit to the public, pretending that this is out of his hands. No, Anand, it doesn't. You are in charge. You are the boss. So the fact that things are turning out how they're turning out is because you might very well be the person helping the Mohammeds. And they're distracting, they're casting blame on President Ali to make him look like he's persecuting the Mohammeds. How the fuck can he be persecuting the Mohammeds and he controls the judicial system? And the judicial system is favoring the Mohammeds. Think about it. Look at what the Mohammeds are doing. Look at how they're controlling the system, or it seems as though they're controlling the system. Favors and favors and favors and favors, all this circus. And yet, a lot of people are going to believe that this is political persecution. No, it is political help. He's being helped. You honestly think if the Speaker of the House was independent, he would have convened Parliament so that the Mohammeds, he would have had the Mohammeds sworn in? No. I think it is factions within the PPP that has pressured Mansour Nadir to convene that meeting so that Azruddin gets sworn in. I think it's within the PPP. Nobody else has that influence. Nobody else. And it's in the president. It's not the president. Somebody has a hold on everybody, and when shit hits the fence, they're using that to blackmail and say, hey, do this, or it makes no sense. Everybody seemed to be compromising in favor of the Mohammeds, in favor of them. And they're crying political persecution, and they're casting the blame on President Ali. That man has nothing, no influence over the judicial system. If he had any influence, Mr. Nandalal would not have been Attorney General. Because the man was Attorney General in 2010 to 2015 under Ramatar. You mean there's nobody else in the PPP, nobody else in the hundreds of lawyers, of judges, of chancellors, of nobody else has the capability and the capacity to be Attorney General, but Anil Nandalal 3 times doesn't make any sense. So in this particular Mohammed's case, he's getting help. And we are looking at the wrong people. That magistrate is at a lower court. That court simply looks at applications, bail applications, and so on and so forth. That case is too high profile to have been given to Magistrate Latchman. Too much of a high profile case. It was given to her, hand delivered. Hey, you preside over this. There are many other magistrates within the high court system there that could have looked at that. She was selected. So all this sham about trying to get it from her to be heard in the high court, then to test their constitutional rights to do all of this, it's all a sham. It's all a waste of time. Distractions. Because from day one, the person who is in charge, if he truly wanted to expedite this, he has the powers to do it. If tomorrow the magistrate decided that, okay, everything is in order, the court heard the extradition request, and this person is eligible for extradition, and she's done with it. She washed her hands, done with that. Who do you think makes the next decision? Who has to sign off now on behalf of the state? Who do you think? The Home Affairs Minister? No. The President? No. The Attorney General, the Minister of Legal Affairs. He is the one who has to sign off on that after the courts. So if he has already made up his mind to help the Mohammeds, allegedly, if Mr. Nandalal has made up his mind for whatever reason to help the Mohammeds, that case will not be over. It will not be over. They will never be rearrested. Bail will not be overturned. The case is going to prolong. The next thing you know, they're going to apply for some complications to go to the CCJ, which is going to take forever. So for some reason, it is to the benefit of the Attorney General to have the Mohammeds in Guyana for some reason, to have them in politics for some reason. It is to the benefit of the Attorney General. I am beginning to believe that this has to do with the presidential bid of the Attorney General. I am beginning to believe that this has something to do with the fact that Mr. Nandalal wants to be the next president. How is this going to help him? I don't know. I really don't know. But you add some common sense to this. The man who could break or build the Mohammed's fate is the one they're attacking. It's like you have no defense, and your opponent has a machine gun, and he's drunk. You have no defense against that. But you are pursuing the man. Your aggression towards him, you're provoking him to respond. You got to be out of your mind. You have to be mentally deranged to be tempting a man who has a gun that can just pull the trigger. That's what this is about. The man who can determine the fate of the Mohammeds is the one they're attacking on a daily basis and going after his family. It's all a game. It's a stupid game. And Guyanese are sucked into it to think that this is a transparent thing, and it's really a problem that this magistrate might be helping this man. This woman, magistrate, barely has experience. Barely has experience. How the heck can she be helping somebody with this magnitude in terms of the profile of this case? She's a junior when it comes to handling cases like this. As a matter of fact, an amateur. So she's not helping him. She's directed to help him. This is not a willing thing on behalf of the magistrate. Whatever is over her head, I don't know. But the perception here is the political party of the People's Progressive Party is helping the Mohammeds. I cannot bring myself to believe that President Ali is so complacent, so irresponsible, to put his legacy online, to risk Guyana's financial system, to risk Guyana's democracy, to make such a compromise, to influence the courts in favor of Azhudin Mohammed. I would not bring myself to even entertain that thought that he would go down that road. For whose benefit? There is no financial benefits that you can think of that a president can have in keeping the Mohammeds around. The man controls a budget of 1,538,000,000,000. He controls that. Why would he risk that in the future of Guyana for some small financial favors of the Mohammeds, even if they have something on him? I believe there are people within the People's Progressive Party that the president has no powers over, that are influencing the courts in favor of the Mohammeds. That's my belief. Because when I did my own deep dive into to get down to the bottom of this, I realized that the magistrate don't have the capacity to grant this amount of favor. She doesn't. She's been controlled, and it in by the PNC. The PNC, they're a bunch of lowlifes. They don't have that skill out of government or that influence. This is a person who got into law under the PPP while the PPP were in government. She became prosecutors, then magistrate under PPP government. PNC has no influence there. Nobody does. She works for the state all her life. And who pays your check controls you. So to Mr. Nandalal, where is the transparency? Let us cut the bullshit. This rift between Azhudin Mohammed and you, it's becoming now unbelievable. This is a staged performance to make people think that the two of you are enemies. I don't think so. I think the two of you are friends. I think you're helping each other. I think this is benefiting both of you. That's what I think. No, I'm going to keep on that until Mohammed leaves the country. Then I can say, well, I was wrong. But for now, so far, based on my research, ain't nobody telling me stuff now. I'm putting my own thoughts together and understand that magistrate don't have the capacity to manipulate the system like that. She don't have the political power or might or influence or know-how. You must understand, career public servants are not leaders, they're followers. They're followers. They take orders. And the magistrate is a career public servant. A career. She takes orders. Why she didn't make chief magistrate, I don't know. That's something else I need to look into. Why didn't she get that position? She didn't get it. She was nominated, but she didn't get it. The question is why? Is she promised that? That if she goes along with whatever, she will make chief magistrate? Then maybe one day she'll become chancellor or something? Is she promised things and positions and promotions? And in order to stay on track to get that, she has to continue to abide by whatever rulings come from the bosses. In this case, one boss, Mr. Nandalal. Are you, sir, helping Azhudin Mohammed? And by extension, the People's Progressive Party? Is the government helping this fugitive? Let us know. We have the 19th soon to come. Let's see what else will come. what other excuses would be invented? I came across this idiot by the name of Norman Brown. Yeah, this PNC thug. Brown, Norman Brown. And I envy these guys, I do. When I say I envy these guys, it's because they get a way of getting their funding from Mohammed. I don't know, but they get their way of doing it. They get their money. So this guy had this criminal in the US, the one that says he wants to give poison to the Indians. I know how he was telling black people how to poison the Indians, how to kill something like that, right? You know the guy. Yeah, that homosexual. What I want to say here is, I didn't waste much time behind it. But this brown guy, along with Azruddin's employee, they're trying to force what is left of the PNC to be subjected under Azruddin Mohammed. Instead of Win Party being a part of the PNC, they want the PNC to be a part of Win. Now, Azruddin now is using these people to push to the black community that follows these guys online to pressure the PNC to say, hey, you're done. You've lost. Join the Indian guy. Join Win. Get rid of the PNC. Dissolve the PNC. Just join Win. Because Win ain't going to join you. You may have conspired to create Win, but join Win. And if they are successful in getting the PNC to join Win, and if Ali Nandalal controls Azruddin Mohammed, Mr. Nandalal can very well be the next president. You see where I'm going with this? The power of money. I told you that black people are for sale. And Norman Brown, why would you want to insult this idiot on your live show? You know the guy is stupid. You know that. I mean, the two of you are two dumb niggas trying to influence a bunch of dumb niggas to follow this criminal. But at least you should have some decency. And don't insult the idiot. I mean, come on. You want that you're getting Azruddin's money. You can't insult the man's staff on live internet. You can't do that. After your show, you should have told the guy, hey, if you're on this program, agree with me. You can't disagree with me while we're on live. We ain't editing this. You should pretend that you, and afterwards, then is when you can disagree with the guy. But you guys are such dumbasses. You don't know the code of conduct. And yes, stupid, you can't disagree with a question. You can. Because a question can come in form of a statement, an opinion, a suggestion, a recommendation. You can disagree with a question. Like if I say, Norman Wrong, are you an asshole? You're going to disagree with that, right? How can you ask me such a question? That's disagreement. Don't try to sound smart when you're stupid. But like I said, Azruddin wouldn't like the fact that you insulted his employee before the world to see. But then again, emotions, not brains. You niggas don't use your brains. And Campbell is right. He can't get involved. It's beyond his pay grade. Campbell is right. So stop influencing what is left of the PNC to join Win. Win was created out of the PNC. You're also selling out your grassroots party. You're like Amanza Desir. You're also selling it out, and you people are calling me betrayal, Uncle Tom. I've been a PPP from day one. Did you see? I just criticized Anand Landala. I just questioned him. And I still defend the PPP. I still defend my president. Not because I made a note of what I say on this show, it means that I have issues with the PPP. No, I need answers. And I'm asking the Attorney General, provide these answers. I'm flip-flopping, but once you're PNC, now you win. What else is there? But that's for you and them niggas to unravel. For me, I need the Attorney General to be straight with Guyana. You're either a PPP, you stand for law and order, you take orders from the president, or you are a master unto yourself and you are in control of this case with the Mohammeds, and you're the one directing the magistrate. Which is it, Attorney General? Is he going to leave or is he going to stay? 4 days, you said. Now we're on to how many months? Don't talk stuff, sir. Do. The past days was a huge embarrassment for your judiciary. So now I'm beginning to be sympathetic with Magistrate Judy Latchman. Maybe we really need to have Judge Judy. Hire her. She still looks good for her age. Bring her to Guyana. Let her serve in that capacity, Judge Judy. Maybe we'll get some justice. Anyway, I want to thank you for your attention. Share this live and give me the thumbs up. I want to hear in the comments. We continue to rally behind our president. We stand in solidarity with the People's Progressive Party. We are going to dominate the local government elections. We are going to control all the districts, all the NDCs. We are going to do that. So for now, keep your eyes on the prize. And what is the prize? Keep Guyana safe. And only under the PPP and under President Irfan Ali can Guyana be safe. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.